What's up, everyone? Good morning. And welcome back to another edition of the show. It's episode 370, and it's February 22nd, 2023. And man, I'm excited about today's guest. He's a true freshman. Well, he's redshirting out of Arizona State University. One of the famed Eloy boys from Eloy, Arizona. It's Emilio Ysaguirre, Arizona State Sun Devil. Emilio, how you doing today?
Pretty good, just getting off to a normal Arizona State, student athlete schedule. Just got done with a lift and got to do a little bit of homework, go to a class that I have and hit practice and work out and, just the norm day.
Yeah, right on. Man, we got a hard 30 minutes here, but I want to cover as much as we can. And I know I've talked with you about probably a lot of these topics, but it's the first time kind of getting these things out in front of people. And I guess a couple things about you. You just had a huge win. I think Brock Hardy was number 4 at the time. You just knocked him off. More interesting to me is the Eloy Boys. It's a film we're working on. It's coming to come out in April. I don't know if you knew that. So just right down the pipe pretty soon. And it's about you and a group of guys from Eloy, Arizona, an hour south of Phoenix, growing up, training, watermelon farming, doing some hard things, but a really, really cool story and interesting, I don't know, there was 10, 12, 15 guys, a couple girls at times sprinkled in, but you guys would just train together, live together, eat together, play together, all day. At least this was over the summer in July. But how'd you get introduced to wrestling? What was your introduction to wrestling like? How old were you?
Man, I was 4 years old when I was taking shots on my dad at the trailer, that we used to live in, taking shots on him on carpet. He'd put socks on my knees and I just take shots and do little halves and chicken wings and all that simple, basic wrestling moves, on him. And, I started competing at at 4'2", I had to be, I think 6, but, just kind of let it play out and said I was 6 when I was 4 years old, but, it led to good things, and it's been a family tradition forever. My dad's side of the family has every single one of them wrestled, and every single one of them was, looking to be the next state champ, the next 4-timer. We've had some very good wrestlers come out of our family from my dad's side, so it's been in the family for a while, and I just knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to pursue it, so here I am now pursuing what I've always said I wanted to pursue. So.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Describe to me, or to anyone who's watching, maybe, what's Eloy, Arizona like? Describe Eloy.
Let me see. Eloy, hood, tough, just all a small town, fighting. There's, a lot of people are involved in, not so good things. That's why it's just different environment than what most people are used to. Most people on the East Coast, even the Midwest, they're a lot of them are not used to what the environment Eloy brings, so just a different environment. And that's where I come from. And that's why I am who I am, because, where I'm from, I'm just built different, we're just built different.
Hey, yeah. So you're 4 years old, taking, you're in the trailer, taking shots on the carpet with your dad and learning chicken wings, and you lied. You said you were 6, but you're really 4, and you went and wrestled. Tell me about the progression, because you and your dad are in the trailer, and then there's a whole cast of characters from the time I went there last summer. But I think you and Izzys Senior and Junior, right? There was these 2 families, and maybe there was the Guanajuatos were in there before. But how did this come to be? And I think you were then training on a mat in the backyard, and then you were in Izzys Garage, or kind of walk me through the training setups.
Yeah, so I obviously was trained with my dad, and it's just me and my dad, and my little brother. But my little brother now, he's way bigger than me. He's about to run the country pretty soon in high school. And he was a fat little kid, so he really didn't wrestle. He just ate potatoes on the couch, and it was just me and my dad and the carpet and the trailer. And then we moved to my Tío Abram, his backyard, who's my childhood coach forever and helped me pursue lots and lots of, wrestling goals that I've wanted. And, he's a big part of my life. And we went to the back of his yard, this green, old raggedy mat, had like pieces of mat coming out of it, just when you shoot, to scrape up your knees, and just wasn't fun. But that's the only thing we had, so that's what we had to live with, and every day we were back there, working on stuff, just trying to perfect what our craft. And that, it was me at the time. Then Christian Davis came along. We had like two other ones, Christian's brother and Christian's sister, and it was just us back there grinding every time. And after like 2 3 years, 2 years, then we moved to my house and we put those same mats in the back. But then we finally, we finally came up and got some better mats from, Christian's dad, who was a boxer, MMA fighter. So he gave us some mats. They weren't too big. They're still a little old, but better than that green mat that, used to cut us up all the time, So then we moved there. That's when we brought little Izzy along. And, Big Izzy was up in North Dakota working, trying to provide for his family, doing everything he can. So, and my dad was down here. So brought little Izzy along, and Big Izzy, he just moved down, and the twins, and we all came together in the back of my house. And Rogelio, they all came together, and then we moved to Izzys Garage. And that's when all of us came more of a family, and the Guanajuatos, like my 7th grade year, Davion, just this little kid, tough, super tough, and fast, quick, and just didn't give up. And, my dad was just like, hey, come train with us in the back of the yard. So he came to the back of the yard, and his brothers just followed. And ever since then, they've been with us. Those are my brothers, not by blood, but, by loyalty and love. Those are my brothers. So Izzy, the Guanajuatos, Christian, the twins, those we've been through some time together. So we went from trailer, my Theo's backyard, my house, Izzy's garage for a long time, super hot in there, and then to the shop. Yeah, it was. We actually were at the shop before too, like before we moved or after we moved to my Theo's house, and at that time it was still used to like for the fields, like everyone would bring the tractors and they'll fix them. So our mat would just keep getting all oily and messed up. So we'd be practicing on oil and stuff, it was crazy. And so then we finally moved to the back of our yard, and that's when it just all took off from there. Now we're back at the shop. Glad that, we have our own space, and it's just fun,
Absolutely. I got a couple videos that I took on this trip, and we'll play the first one, and it's at Izzy's Garage, right? Not this one, Nico, but I think 995 would be the one where where they used to train. And it's basically from Izzy's. Yeah, this is it. Let it rip, Nico. And just tell me like what you remember when you see this. Right, this is Izzy's house across the street from you. Oh, hang on a second. So we're gonna get this to you. But basically, what do you remember about training at Izzy's house?
Man, definitely like a lot of memories, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that garage. It's crazy. It's crazy to go back and just look at it on camera, because I've been there, done all that, just to see it like being filmed. It's just crazy because it's been a lot of work put into that garage. A lot of blood, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of ups and a lot of downs. It's crazy.
Yeah,
people were scared of that garage.
You were scared of the garage.
People were scared of that garage too. It was just different.
Yeah. Thinking about kids coming up in wrestling from all different walks of life, and a lot of times you see these kids who their dads train them and train them hard, and they're kind of on them, and the kids burn out, or they resent their dad, or they start to dislike wrestling. But that doesn't ever seem like that was the case with you. Is that accurate? Or were there times?
Yeah. When I was younger, my dad, he kind of like he did push me a lot, and I kind of found interest in other sports like baseball and football too, so I quit wrestling when I was about, not even too sure, maybe like 10. And but as I came back, he just started learning more as an adult, you know, raising me. And I just started to love it. And when I started to love it, you know, it just got so much more easier for me, so much more easier for him. You know, he didn't really have to push me when I was 13 years old and up. You know, I just knew what I had to do, and I knew what I wanted, so I did it on my own. But he was obviously there, you know, running me through what I needed to be ran through, and workouts, you know, eating right, you know, supplements, all that type of stuff. So he's always been there, you know, and he was just a great father to me. And yeah, you know, I can't thank him enough for doing what he's did for me and for everyone else, you know.
You know, I think the first day we were with you guys, Izzy says, talks about breaking the cycle. And it took me a minute to understand what he, you know, and he really spelled it out. Can you explain to me what breaking the cycle is and when you realized that that's kind of the goal with what you guys are doing?
Yeah, you know, the cycle in Eloy was just, you know, win a state title, win 4 state titles, win 1, 2, 3, 4 state titles, and you know, just go work at a local business that's around the area, you know, whether it's in Eloy, Cash Grant, you know, Blue Beacon, you know, truck wash, you know, all that type of stuff. And that was a cycle that everyone followed. And even still to this day, it's not bad, you know, but like that was just a cycle that we wanted to break, you know, like when you can just, we had so much talent, you can go and take them talent somewhere else and, you know, be coming out really wealthy, you know, from college with a college degree and, you know, just give yourself a chance. And that's what I wanted to do, you know. I've always wanted to break a cycle, go to college, you know, get a degree, wrestle, and, you know, just show younger people and, you know, the people in either way that it's possible and you can do it, you know. And now that I've did it, you know, now I've got my little cousins, my brother, you know, all my other little brothers and my little sister, you know, and everyone just thinking that like, yeah, now college is like a thing for them, you know. It's not even like, oh, I just want to go work, you know. No, now it's like I'm going to college, you know. So just that was like the cycle that I wanted to break, and I think I broke it for those who've been around me and those who support me, you know. So
When did you realize you like, oh wow, I'm not just doing shots on the carpet and training in this backyard to win a state title, but like there is a bigger vision. Was it at 4, 6, 10, 15? Like when did you kind of understand that?
see, I just turned 16 when I won my second state title in Arizona. You know, it was easy, not to put anyone down or anything, but it was just easy. And you know, I was doing all this work and I was looking I remember I used to look at FloWrestling and seeing these guys, you know, like, man, #1 guys in the country, you know, top 10 guys, you know, just wrestling and getting all this, you know, fame and stuff on FloWrestling. And it's like, man, I want to be on FloWrestling. Like, I want to do this, you know, I want to win Super Fargo, I want to win Super 32, you know, I want to go to these tournaments. So, and I was just like, you know, then I came and I told my dad, I was like, because at that time Valiant, you know, I was supposed to go to Valiant freshman year, but you know, I just wanted to stay and, you know, just stay in my hometown. But sophomore year, I was like, you know, Dad, I'm going to Valiant. You know, I want more. I don't just want state titles, you know, like I would have been a 4-time state champion in Arizona, you know, but just wasn't, I don't think it attributed to what I had, like goal wise, you know. It was just, I wanted to do so much bigger things and just win 4 state titles. And I knew I needed to get out and give myself that chance. You know, I needed to get uncomfortable, and I moved to Valiant, and the rest was history from there. So
Yeah. I got one more clip I want to play real quick. This is down at the canal. So like we get to just hanging out with you guys all day and you go swim at the canal, and whenever you're ready, Nico, we can click this over.
What happened? Cameraman just fell in right now.
You remember this?
Save the camera though, he saved the camera, so you right? You okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
You guys are just like,
Is your stuff alright?
this was like in between training sessions. You guys would like train and then go to somebody's house and we'd all eat. And it's 117 degrees out or something.
Everything okay?
It's just my feet.
Where's the
Yeah.
rope?
There's your dad.
It's down there. Oh!
Describe the bond between you guys.
we all have a really tight bond. Like, it's crazy. You know, there's
Connor, you need help getting up?
like those guys, you know, to me, they're the loyalest people I have on my side, like to the bone. You know, I can call any one of those guys right now and say, hey man, you know, like someone is talking crap right now, you know, let's go to their house or something. And 100% they're going to show up with me, you know, and they're going to be like, all right, let's go, let's go. You know, that's like the kind of loyalty they have to me and the bond you have. You know, we're just so tight. We grew up together.
Yeah.
You know, they trust me, I trust them. And our bond is, so it's unbreakable for all of us. So it's pretty cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, this is. Worked on a lot of different film projects over the years, but never one quite like this. So I'm super excited.
I'm super excited for this, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We got one of our best editors on it too, which I'm excited about. But okay, to the Valiant thing. So Valiant Prep, it's a wrestling school, right? For I guess for those who don't know, right? There's 75 students and 72 of you guys wrestle, and the other ones, brothers or sisters, wrestle. Describe a typical day at Valiant and what it's like. What classes are 10 people, 15, or?
Yeah, you know, some classes not even that much, but no, it's just we go to school 7:45. 7:45 I think, and we get out at we used to get out at 1:15 and practice 1:30 to 3:30, but now they get out at 12.
Nice.
Practice from 12 to 1:30, you know, because they split the groups, middle school and high school. So, but you know, it's just, you know, the classes, the education was obviously good. It's a private school, you know, so it's always good. And I was struggling when I first went. I was struggling academically, which I never had before. But you know, like months into the thing, you know, the teachers there are great. Everyone there is great. So I was able to get help and, you know, really catch up to what I needed to catch up with. And yeah, it was just a good deal all around. So
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, you got Angel Cejudo and Eric Larkin, and at a school that's and they are very much focused on academics. That's one thing I realized that I learned when I was down there. But also very focused on wrestling and all these amazing resources. Tell me about the college decision, deciding on where to go, how hard that was. You know, I know you had a few different options.
Yeah, that was probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make in my life. Like, still to this day, it was just, man, so stressful and just stressful and all around just hard. You know, it was an uncomfortable position, but it was a position that like you want to be in as an athlete. But then again, it's like, man, this is super hard, and you don't want to, like, you know, tell coaches no. You don't want to say, hey, I'm not going, or hey this, hey that, you know, or this, because you know you kind of build a relationship with coaches while they're recruiting you, you know. So I kind of built some relationships and stuff, and it was just, you know, I didn't want to tell coaches no, you know, but I had to do what I wanted to do, and you know what I felt in my heart would get me to where I wanted to be. So, you know, and all of the schools, you know, they're great. You know, there's just, ever since I was a little kid, Arizona State's just been a dream of mine to come and wrestle here, you know, and chase my goals here. And, you know, I just forgot about that along the way. And, you know, just one night I remember I was laying down and, you know, put my head on the pillow, and I remember like, man, I remember when I was little, I was always all swagged out in ASU gear, you know, just Arizona State wrestling gear, like all that stuff. And, you know, I just remember like waking my head up in the middle of the night and like, oh man, I'm going to Arizona State, you know, like that's where I'm going to be, you know. And woke up next morning and told my mom, hey, I think I decided where I wanted to go. I think I'm going to ASU. And, you know, they're just happy because, man, it's been a goal of mine forever, you know, and I don't know if there's been a person in Eloy to do something like this. So it's been great. And that was like the ultimate decider right there, is just chasing my goals and what I felt would be best for me. And I thought that this place was the place. So here I am now.
Yeah. How many? I know. Was it Dave? One of the Guanajuatos went to Izzagirre. I know a couple, and so and there's a couple who have committed since, right? Another Guanajuato and believe a couple other
So
guys. What? Tell me about the Eloy
Davion,
boys.
Davion went to SIUE, another Division One. Derek is going to UNC, another Division One. Daniel is getting ready on the verge to commit to Division One, and Faustino also, so they're gonna commit, I think, March, April. So pretty soon, that's 4, 5 Division One guys just out of the Eloy Boys Garage, the shop in Eloy. That's unheard of. My dad has obviously did something right with us to produce 4 or 5 Division One guys or 5 college level guys. So it's just been great.
Yeah, freaking amazing. It really is. And let's kind of get to this season, right? You redshirted. I was there at a practice, or early in the fall. It
Yeah.
wasn't going well, right? As is normal for college freshmen. We'll talk about getting adjusted to college wrestling and maybe not being the big fish anymore.
Yeah, it was, obviously as a freshman, you go through those hardships and you go through those tough times. I'm not saying that I'm not still going through those, but obviously everyone has those tough times. And being a freshman, I had to really be headstrong because it was a different atmosphere. Being in the room with guys like Jesse and Parco and McGee and all these guys, veteran guys, all Americans that know what they're doing. And there's me, just I'm not the big fish in the pond anymore. So I have to be really headstrong, and I have to figure things out. I have to take some time and really dial in and figure things out and what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do to just be able to do what I want to do. And through the season, at the beginning it was hard. It was definitely hard, but as time started going on, I started catching the hang of it, starting getting the hang of it. And I just started turning a corner mentally, physically, with wrestling. And now I feel great. I feel ready, but we'll just see.
Yeah. So big win over Brock Hardy last weekend. Did you wrestle him earlier in the year? Did I hear that? Maybe at Vegas or something?
No,
No.
Jesse wrestled him.
Oh, okay. Got it. So the new rule, freshmen or red shirts can wrestle 5 times without burning their red shirt. How many times were you inserted into the lineup?
Twice. I was put in lineup Thursday of last week and wrestled Cal State Bakersfield kid. Got a major decision there at home. So that was great. I got to wrestle at home in front of my home crowd. Stuff like that. So got my first up there, and then it's like, hey, you're traveling with us to Nebraska, and everyone knows the top guys in the nation. Who they are. You know what I mean? Like, so there I am traveling in Nebraska, and yeah, we get there, and I still don't even know if I'm wrestling because there's this other kid, Cody, who's wrestling and who's there actually with us. So I was like, I'm not too sure, but obviously I want to compete. I want to test myself to see who I really am against these top guys. And I knew Brock Hardy was there, and I was like, man, this dude, he can win national title. He's a contender. He's number 4. I want to see where I'm at. And, it's Saturday night, till Sunday at noon. And we just got done working out, and, everyone's just hanging out, and Zeke calls. He's like, Emilio, and Coach Frank's right there, Coach Thompson right there. He's like, we're thinking about wrestling. And he says, we're thinking about wrestling, Cody, this other guy. And I'm like, and he's like, what do you think? And I'm like, man, what do I, I want to compete, like, I don't want to come on this trip not to wrestle, that's what I think. And he's like, sweet. That's what I wanted to hear. I wanted you to convince me. And I was like, there we go. It's showtime now. And he was like, you're the man and you're going to go. And I was like, yep. So there, and I wrestled that duel, and, I upset number 4 guy in the country in front of his hometown. It was a great moment, but we move on, and got things to win, got things I want to do. So that's just just a stepping stone process, you know. So that's just one of many. So that's it.
Yeah. You're ready to move on. I want to go to the match itself though. Just kind of walk me through. I didn't see it, but was there a cradle early, or kind of walk me through this match?
Yes, you know, so the beginning of the period, I'm on the stage and just kind of soaking it in. You know, I'm a freshman. I got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? And that's kind of been my mentality now. You know, and that's what made me turn a corner. And I'm just walking on stage and boom, we shake hands. You know, I do a little shot off the whistle. You know, I'm like, and when I did that shot off the whistle, I'm like, this guy is not. He's not what I thought he was gonna be. You know, and I was like, all right, cool. Now we got something. And boom, we're wrestling, and he has like this little weird, nice little snap drop to the leg thing, and I just couldn't figure it out. And he hits me with that boom at the beginning of the period, boom. And actually, at first I hit him with a shot, and then I recover, and then he hits me with that, and he gets to my right leg, and and I have really good defense when you get to my legs. I believe I have some great defense when you get on my right leg, my left leg, when you get double. So he gets in on my right leg, and I'm good there. I squat, sit his corner. I'm thinking about scoring the 2, because I can hook his ankle and I can easily scoot around and score. But then I see him pop his head up, and I'm like, yo, he's going. So I try to do it at first, and he kind of stops it. And I knew when I hit that ankle and I sit more, he was going to really exaggerate that head because he didn't want to get cradled. So when he did that, he let him pop his head up and boom, hit him to the cradle and put him on his back for 6. And after that, I was like, when you give me a 6-point lead like that, you're not, my confidence is just too much. You're not going to come back and beat me. You know what I mean? So, and then second period comes and he escapes whatever. And then he takes me down, actually. He takes me down and I escape, and he's really good on top. And I escape. So now I'm like, oh, yeah, it's over, And second period comes and I think he chooses down and he escapes and we're wrestling, and he almost takes me down. I believe it's the second, maybe the first, maybe the end of the first, but one of those, and gets another shot. I'm split. I do splits. We're wrestling, and he almost takes me down. But I didn't give it up. I wanted to win so bad. I wasn't gonna give anything up. So, and then that happens, and then in the third, I go down, and I remember Coach Frank before the match is like, we gotta. Every time you're on here, we just got to get to our feet. That's it. Just get to your feet. Keep getting to your feet. He was exaggerated. Like, keep getting to your feet. Keep getting to your feet. So, and I just remembered that. So I was, he kind of like brought me down at first, kind of bring me like in a claw position, trying to put a leg in. So, and then kind of slipped the leg out, stood up, and he tried to put a leg in again, but I caught it, reached back, a wizard, and kind of reversed him there. And ever since then, I kind of knew it was over because I felt him snap, I felt him break because I was really putting a hard ride on, and I rode him out the whole third period. I had a minute and something of riding time. So, and that was the match. It was great. It was fun. It's definitely fun.
I bet. What did you learn about yourself in that match?
I learned a lot. I learned I could be anybody in the country, no matter what. And I don't even cut weight like that for 141. Imagine if now I'm just thinking like, man, dude, do I want to put some lean muscle on, get big and, be a solid 41er, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I just learned that no matter what, I just believe. That's the biggest thing is I believe in myself, no matter where I'm at, no matter what I do. I just have so much confidence in myself and my abilities when I wrestle that it just comes natural to me.
Awesome.
But I've definitely learned that I can beat anybody. So,
dude, it's gonna be a blast to watch you, next year and the years beyond, and if you could continue to want to do it beyond college, man. And I wish we had more time. Unfortunately, we got a hard out here on the hour, so we're gonna kind of have to wrap this up. But man, it's been a really good time catching up with you and talking again, and we'll get you back on when the film comes out this spring. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, cool. Tell everybody back home I said hi. Say hi to your dad, and yeah, good luck, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bader. Appreciate
right.
you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Emilio. Have a good one. All right, folks, and that's going to do it for today's show. Had a blast spending time with these guys over the summer and catching up again today with Emilio Ysaguirre. Had a big win over a top 5 opponent this week. It's great. The Eloy Boys, our film will come out in April, so be on the lookout for that. But that's it. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.